Hello, Divine Sunshiners. This is Divine Sunshine coming to you with a special. I've been looking at a couple of channels, and a lot of them kind of point at the saying, you know, what's going on with the Divine Feminine, and she's kind of waiting for the Divine Masculine to kind of get himself together, like I had in one of my readings say, I know, but I still got to work with some things. And so I'm saying, you know what, let me kind of look in with the Divine Feminine to kind of see what is some things, ask the angels, what are some things that we should be working on, or what should we be doing in the meantime while we're waiting. I almost want to call it, say, while we were sitting in the waiting room, what should we actually be doing? And so that's, I'm going to refer to the cards and the angels, and we're going to pick angel card from the Harmony Angel card deck here, especially with these energies going on. Monday is trying time. I told you about what's going on with my father, him dealing with his health and stuff. Just send healing green light to him as well. We are going through some things, just trying to get him possibly to the best state of health as possible. That he can at the age that he's in. So dealing with that, it's just like, I know I seen on Elizabeth Lund's channel, she was talking about yesterday, was like the devil energy, but it was love too at the same time. It was a lot of trying things. Some of you all might have kind of gone through as the collective, but some kind of way through that you found and you powered the way through that it was love. She also mentioned on her channel about that Jesus was actually walking the earth, and it had the Jesus Christ consciousness of things happening that you've seen that will be pretty much aligned with what Jesus happening, like maybe going on the cross, some Garden of Gethsemane moments. I know I did. I had to cry. I hollered. I went out into my backyard, and I just kind of dissipated all that energy and just kind of cried about things that's going on with my dad. And then at the same time, you'll find even your soul family coming in and rallying and helping you out. I got even family members that's calling that, you know, I can see that they say, I'm stepping up. I guess I put on the light like the submarine, like in ding, ding, ding. And they all kind of like answering, like, hello, Spirit told me to call you. What's going on with you? Your heart is heavy, you know. Yada, yada, yada. And so you'll find even your soul family will kind of start rallying in. A lot of opening up your sensitivities into a lot of your intuition and awareness, your gifts pretty much are really probably rallying on. It's really coming to the time that I'm picking up that they're saying that you really are relying on your intuition. It's like we're building situations and things happening to you to make sure that your intuition is becoming stronger, that you depend on your intuition as well. You'll probably feel a heightened sense of that. Like, you know, I can sense this. I felt this, you know, let me call this person, or things like that nature. So that is going on. It was something else I'm trying to see what it is. It's just like these. Oh, and also in the energies you'll find, also you've got to watch it. You got to really come to the point that you're really looking out for self. Because you'll find when you're dealing with people, especially early this week, I don't know, now the energies has passed, but like starting Monday and Tuesday, there was a strong energy of people just really saying they're trying to make you conform their way. Like they wanted you to think of their way, or they want you to do something their way. And something within your spirit is like, no, I'm not going up for that. I'm not signing up for that. And so, you know, you kind of were tested, you know, pretty much I say early this week, Monday and Tuesday, where you had to really kind of find yourself standing your ground and really saying, okay, does this resonate in my spirit? Does it fit in my spirit? Does it seem like it's right? It's kind of lifting, but you still have those tests a little bit that's saying, okay, I'm just, the universe time, like, give me a test, like, I just want to make sure you're still on that page where you're not signing up for that, you know, so I'm going to send one more test to you. Just kind of see and make sure, you know, how you doing with that. So that's going to be helpful for you down the line. I talked to my uncle / cuz cousin that was saying that, you know, this month that we're bringing in is like, it's truth. We're getting set up. We're getting ready for what's our truth. So, yes, when we have those different kind of situations that arise, like I said earlier this week, where people, I call it the this syndrome, like, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, I hear what you're saying, but I want you to come back and do it my way. You know, when you hit those kind of things and you have to stand and say, no, I don't want it. When they do that, they're coming around and say, no, I don't want that. That's not the direction I'm going. It's the way that I feel. It's my way, is the highway. So we both going to have a clash of the titans of this thought. And so, you know, this is preparing us for our truth, to be able to stand in our truth. You know, really being able to get in touch with that solar plex again, which to me is less of that, is more of the heart. What is the heart? This really resonating and getting one. Excuse me, the side is itching. Getting one with the heart. What does the heart say? I've been saying that all along in all my videos. You know, what does the heart say? What does the heart say? Less than what the mind says. So, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. My side is killing me. It's itching me for some reason. Excuse me, I know that's improper. But, so that's what I just want to kind of tell you about. So let me get right on into the reading. I said this is going to be a quickie. We'll see how well that goes. And so let's go on, because I know this book is small, so I'm going to need my glasses. Okay, so let's start off with seeing what angel do we need to be working with, divine feminine, as we're going through these karmic situations and we're sitting in the waiting room for union and seeing what's going on until then. I've already asked for Archangel Michael and Archangel Shamiel and Charity to be here, because they are the main angels that are known for to be the watchers and guardians of twin flames on their journey. Okay, so let's see. I got all of them. Okay, so let's clear. Let's see what they bring out to us. Which angel needs to work with the divine feminine as she sits in the waiting room, waiting on union and dealing with karmic situations? It could be her, or it could be oh, this again. This came out before. Oh, it's double sided. Is it two sides? Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, I like you already. All right, so I know this is Archangel Michael, the sword of truth, and I told you that goes along with what my uncle had said, uncle/cousin had said about that. And we got the rainbow with the cup. Okay, I don't know why I say that. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. It's something like that. The tune is there, but that's what I'm picking up. Fill my cup and let it overflow. Okay, so let's see which one is that one. Is that the back side of that one? Okay, we're looking for this one, that angel. Go back. Where's the sword? Which I know is in here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, just make sure there's no two sides to this. Because when I look at this looks like to me this cup is saying, find a way how to fill your own cup. You know, just like filling up all your chakras. Make sure you're working with everything so that in order for you to be able to fill your cup, it's not like anybody else doing it. It's like you are the main one who is filling your own cup. You know, of love. You know, it doesn't take much. So that's really self-love. So this is the one we're working with. So let me get on that one, which is Archangel Michael, angel ruler of Wednesday. And today is Wednesday. Mercury and the cobalt and topaz rays. The card of strength, protection, and truth. See page 44. Okay, that's angel numbers 44. I keep on hearing this. I'll fill my cup, let it overflow. Okay, Michael, angel ruler of Wednesdays, Mercury and the cobalt and topaz rays. The card of strength, protection, and truth. Michael is believed to hold the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Often pictured with a sword and cloak, he is chief warrior in the cause of light against dark. His sword pierces darkness with the light of truth, and his cobalt blue cloak protects from negative energy. He brings strength, patience, and calmness to help you manage the crisis of everyday life. Michael asks if you have something within you that you wish to release. If so, you can ask his assistance to cut it away. He then sends cobalt blue to fill and heal any void created to prevent the problem from returning. He can also help you to rid yourself of old programming and thought patterns. An angel of truth, he points out its different aspects. There is the freedom to speak and hear truth in a daily context. To be true to oneself. Use sapphire or topaz to assist with clarity of communication. There is also the ultimate truth, which is found by taking the spiritual path of love and light. He suggests mysterious labradorite for spirituality and asks if you feel ready to make this journey, offering you the shining topaz ray of his sword to illuminate your way. So, like I said, that goes back to what my uncle had pretty much said about that the truth that may represents we moving into the truth. And like I said about your heart, making sure that what people are doing and saying to you aligns with your own heart's truth. You know, you'll find yourself saying, no, that don't feel right. It just don't feel right. I'm sorry, but it don't feel right. And so I do a lot of times, I do my work with Archangel Michael. A lot of times, if you got a lot of fear or it's a lot of some kind of negative energy or things that you're feeling at that time that's in your heart, you can ask for Archangel Michael to take it away. Those feelings that you're having, you know, those thoughts, say, please clear my heart, clear my mind, take that, and he will. You'll feel kind of like a coolness going down. You can do also a cloak of psychic protection as well with Archangel Michael. I do that daily, where you picture yourself in the cloak of blue. You take off the cloak, you find yourself cloaked in the helmet of, because he has a helmet and armor, and he's got the sword. Feel him pretty much going around your head with blue light. You'll have the cloak also feeling him putting on his armor of light, protecting you, blue light protecting you as well. You can have him also cut the cords of like people who are connected to you that should not be with the blue sword. A lot of times I say I carry all throughout the day the sword of Archangel Michael for truth, so that I stand on truth and principles in everything that I do. Those are some things that you can do, divine feminines, especially while you're sitting there in the waiting room for the divine masculine, waiting for union, either with yourself or with the divine masculine in the physical. Or you can also do that when you're dealing with these karmic situations as well. Okay, so now the next thing is, what is our objective? While we're sitting here in the waiting room, what should the divine feminine be doing, Archangel Michael? Clear. What's our objective? Okay, can't be all of that, Archangel. We be all night. They ain't got angel time. They ain't got angel time. Okay, don't give it to me real quick. Okay, so if money was not an issue, how would you spend your time? So to me, money also is your love and your passion. Remember, I told you money is a tangible currency for love. So if that wasn't an issue as far as how you get love, how you attain love, how you gain love, or anything like that, or if it's prosperity or abundance, or you having money issues, if all those things were not an issue, what would you be actually doing? You know, can you picture yourself actually, you know, walking along, I see a picture that, along the beach with your divine mask? Can you actually picture yourself getting the dream job or doing what you're actually supposed to do? It's like, to me, when I look at that, it's like, how can you love or have passion for the things that you want without it having any limitations? Okay, so right now, while you sitting in the waiting room, and they saying that's your limitations, while you waiting, what could you be doing in the meantime, divine feminine? While you waiting on this, and this karmic situation wasn't a part of this other thing that's being a boundary or stopping you from actually doing what you need to do. What should you be doing in the meantime? So, okay, so now, what is the purpose? What's the life purpose? Clear. Archangel Michael, should the divine feminine be really concentrating on at this time as she's sitting in the waiting room? What is that for union? Sitting in the waiting room for union. I like that. So we're going to stick with that. So what should she be doing in the meantime? Life's purpose. You should be working on you obtaining to being on your the right path. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. So if you've been doing that work within, especially it seems like to me, third eye looks like a kind of a lot of upper chakra action going on, golden light, all that upper. I'm picking up and keep on saying upper chakras. You keep working with that because we know we're working with that now. We're moving into those things. That's kind of more in the feminine aspect. So those energies, keep on doing that work that you're doing. Is really working with your crown, your third eye. I see a little blue tinge into your communications, your upper heart, all those things. You keep working with that. That's going to be helping you get, as far as what the your life's purpose you should be working on while you're in the waiting room for union. Again, school. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. So that means you got to really go and do the work and really research some more things on it, especially if you're talking about this, really getting on the passion and the things that you want to. And you got to go to school and really learn about yourself. Is saying. Say it's not just only about the outside things. It's about really learning about yourself and just really understanding who you are spiritually as you're growing. Because to be this, like you say, you're still a little child. You're still a little babe. You know, the angels who's working with you, Archangel Michael and all of them, any kind of higher, your higher self, all those kind of spiritual things, beings are really still working with you to help you to find growth. So when you kind of go to school, kind of go back to the basics, I'm saying here, I see a flag here. So really find what you pledge your allegiance actually to in this going back to school. You know, that's how you start off your day. So what's your creed? What's your objective? What is your main focus? What is, what are you really standing for? That's what pledge allegiance. It's like, what is in your heart that you are pledging yourself to? They say, I'm aligning myself to that. This is what's going on. I pledge your allegiance. I'm having allegiance with the journey, really becoming in union, becoming more whole. Is that what you're actually trying to do at this moment? And then life's purpose is right now while you're in the waiting room, and this is the purpose, life's purpose you should be sitting there with, is that strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous, and which is true. Even the things that the divine masculine had even brought to the table with you, you should be thinking about, I don't like the lessons. We all don't like the lessons, But at the same time, what's the song? Make you stronger. So, did it make you stronger? It didn't kill you, but it did make you stronger in the meantime. So, you have to thank God for all the good and the small, the good, bad, and the ugly. Because it made you the warrior that you are today. If you did not meet the divine masculine and you had gotten to the point that you are where you are today, you really, the divine masculine in his own way helped to set you on the path and course for you to say, I'm going to find my true happiness. I'm going to go and really, be the best possible me that I can be. All those things on the journey. I had read an article. If you go to and I hit me this morning and say, you don't mention anything about your Facebook page, but I do have a Facebook page, but that one's underneath my old one, which is Divine Twin Souls 11 with that. And so you go over there and I have an article on there that's talking about, you can't give up on the journey. That's possible. That's this nonsense. You thinking that you can kind of give up on it, because that's not even possible, because you are the journey. When you had came into the earth, rather you in union physically with the divine masculine or not, you are the journey. You signed up for, when you came here, divine feminine, to be the best possible version of you. All that the divine masculine did was help to kind of tweak and say, okay, I'm going to reflect back to you some things that you need to kind of work on. And so at the same time, I want you to work on those things. Now, it's going to be ugly. It might be a nice lesson. It might not be all that pretty. the way I teach you, but you're going to learn. You think about that in school. Think about this. When you have been in school, some of those teachers that been like the hardest on you really was the ones that you know that you walked away, you really knew that information. The ones that's kind of like really nicey, you know, you're like, yeah, I kind of remember a little bit, but you know, they let me kind of slip and pass and here and there. I can think about some of my teachers even in high school. Miss Duke, she was hard as who know what. She always pinned my teaching after her style, because she's that one to be bucking and looking at you at the through the glasses. You like, okay, let me sit my ass down. I think that's enough. In high school, or like, you know, like I'm teaching, okay, now Mrs. Divine Sunshine, sit down, you know, stop talking. You know, she could do that and emphasize on some things. And so, you know, those are the ones that, they're hard courses and hard teachers, but those are the ones that you walk away to say, you know what, after years after, you say, you know what, I didn't like you, you was pretty hard, but at the same time, you know, I walked away with a wealth of knowledge from being in your classroom. That's what the divine masculine and that's what the karmic situations are here to do, because you know it's going to make you just like diamonds. You got to go through the process so that you can be pressed through the fire, and for you to be able to shine out like shine bright like a diamond. So you got to be able to do that, because otherwise that diamonds does not have not been made by somebody just blowing on it. Now you a diamond. No, it don't work that way. Okay, so that's the way you have to kind of think of it on that one. Family. Loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. That is true. Especially what's going on with me and my dad. It's been kind of awakening things about the childhood. Me going through his stuff. I found some letters that I had even wrote to him. Pretty much stating, and when I was reading it, and I was like, oh my God, I could just hear the hurt, you know, what was going on with, because see, my dad was like a workaholic, so he wasn't really that much at home. And so there goes the absentee dad. Although this is different. This is not like a dad that say, I don't know who my dad is. So my dad, you know, he come in, drop off the money for payment for child support, and that's it. He might give me every weekend. This is a dad that physically you see him, and he's so tired he can't have a conversation nor connect with you. And that's a whole different thing that you got to kind of, oh, I had like a moments like that. Okay, do you see that also? So those moments like that, do you see yourself kind of connected to your divine masculine in that? Is he looking at traits of that what's going on with your childhood that you know is your masculine that same way where he spend time with you, see him, you don't, but you don't really get that one-on-one where you have that full access on to them. Is he doing the same thing repeatedly? So you kind of helping yourself with that's one way, healing yourself through kind of childhood wounds, things. Also through family, your connections, you know, the bloodlines, clearing that out, getting better with that. And then also your soul family, how you're connecting with that, you know, how they're coming to, like I told you earlier, they're rallying to the cause. They're helping me out with what's going on, what you need, you know. No, I'm for real. I mean, really use me and call me. I'm not saying this just to be saying that. So I thank God very much so that God has blessed me and set forth people in my life that they're like the ones, you know, you got some of the friends but like, yeah, you know, when you need me, you know, I'm here. And when you call them like, well, I can't do it because I got X, Y, Z, you know, I got breathing problems. And then so when you say, well, why the hell you even volunteer your damn services if you know you wasn't going to make good on it, you know. So, you know, thank God that these friends that's coming along are really being true. And to me, like I told Divine Masculine, I say they're really a true reflection of who I am, because you know that's how I am as well. And if not, that's why I aspire to be. You always get you some friends that's even higher echelon that you could say, you know what, I reach and I obtain to be like her, or I reach and obtain to be like her, or so you can always have something to strive. I always think about Macho Grouch. If you said if you're the smartest person in your group of friends, guess what? You need to find you a new group of friends. Ain't no way you should be the smartest tool in the shed in your circle of friends. That's just not how it go, you know. You should have you could be for somebody else, but when it comes to you, you should have a variance, okay, of that. So family, so that's really helping you with your life purpose. So if you got some issues with mom and dad, you know. And I had came to me, I said, you know what, this to me is really your life purpose. Your mission right now is to help Dad, to help him to get healthy, help him to see some things that he's got to change in his mindset. So that's it. And then also with you, Divine Feminine, is leadership. Take charge of this situation. Learn how to stand your ground. Just like what I said about the heart chakra there. You know, check in with it. No, I'm not going to do that. No, that ain't what I'm signing up for to do. No, that don't feel right. You know, the same thing, like just like leadership, like I was taking the class, and the professor, you know, at first I was like, okay, all right, well, I got a, you know, 85. Okay, all right. And then when I look, I said, nah, that ain't turning no 85 type of daggone work. I went on and proceeded and typed in a nice little email to her. You know, I don't know how you took off the XYZ 15 points off the paper, because, you know, I did this and that. You didn't say specifically for you to add add a table and also all this other stuff. And you went kind of, to me, a little kind of excessive on it, because if you said that, I would have added that in. So we went back for what came for it. She went on ahead and said, okay, I'm put 5 points on you. All right. That wasn't mentioned, but next time, you know, do X, Y, and Z on the paper. So that got my 90. But because in my heart, I was about to say that. But you know what? You can feel, and I call this all the time. You can feel when people are dumping their energy on it. And it's just like, yeah, now you going to take that. And you like, this ain't part of my energy. I got enough energy that I'm dealing with in the first place. Nah, you go ahead and you gonna take that energy, because no, you're not gonna dump it to me. We gonna throw it someplace else. I'm throwing it right back into your court. Don't be dumping that and saying, oh, that's yours. No, it's not. It's yours. So, you know, take a leadership. That doesn't even mean that you got to go out there and say, well, I got to get a managerial position or become a principal now since I'm a teacher or whatever. But really just get to the point that you're taking charge of things. Although I'm taking leadership classes, they're talking about mentoring and coaching and what's the difference between leadership, you know. But leadership is also knowing how to follow, but then also knowing how to lead, how to listen, how to help, how to be a team player, how to collaborate, you know. So this is what they're talking about, you know, leadership. I would even say that, you know, you can do it in the physical world, but then also think about how can you take leadership and ownership of your own self. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So that's what your life purpose for you to be sitting in that waiting room, Divine Feminine, waiting on union, because these are the things, the life purposes that life have you right now, and these are the things that really, according to Archangel Michael, you should be working on. So again, get your leadership on, work on your family, work on your strength, work on your school, get knowledge about, being more knowledgeable about some things. Rather, he is going to real school too as well. I heard him say, tell them they can go to real school, because some of them that want to go back to school, tell them, say, yeah, you do that. But then knowledge is power, period. Whichever is in the physical and the spiritual, do those things. And then remember that right now, whatever you're doing, you're on the path. I told you, just like light, it does not matter whichever kind of way that it happens. Remember, light does not travel like this. Light travels up and down. So you have to make sure that even when you think you're off the path, guess what? You're actually on the path. You're following it, but sometimes it just seems like you got to take a little detours, and that's what that's what those karmic situations bring to the table, okay? All right, then. Can you kind of gauge and tell me about what's kind of currently going on with the Divine Feminine? Clear. Kind of gauge and tell me what is some things that's going on with the Divine Feminine as she's working and waiting in the waiting room for union. Okay, you gave me this here. Okay. So right now, some of you are Divine Feminines really feel like somebody stole something from you. You know, you might have felt like you was on your path to really doing something, and you really are at the point that you maybe felt like, you know, why am I in this waiting room? I really should be called next by the person, or I should be leaving, going to reception desk, paying for my whatever it is, and then I'm off and I'm into union. Why am I waiting in this waiting room for this? Again, this to me is I see the lady laughing, which to me is the karmic. So you might be thinking that maybe some karmic situations is really laughing at you, that's really having a kind of like making fun of you. It's like, okay, you know, here's somebody center of attention that we could just make fun of in this situation. And you got something, I want to say it's some immaturity about some things that also has really, it is pulled at your chain of time, knowing what time it is too, as far as why you in this waiting room waiting on union, when it's union with your divine masculine or if it's union with yourself. However, you're at the point right now where it's 0744. Right now you're at the point that you're saying high honor. You're really going to battle about some things. You know, you're going at war, and you're really trying to ascend and really win what's going on with this thing of being into union. So you're really firing off all cannons and all cylinders to make sure that this is actually happening. You done had your plan of attack, you done sat there and figured out with your higher self with some things that you kind of need to work on. You've been working on it. You've been really firing things. And then we got the courthouse thing. So you really kind of really finding justice in what you're doing while you're waiting in this. So currently that's what it is. You feel like you've been stolen, you've been robbed of some things, robbed of the union, robbed of some time, robbed or whatever, being in this karmic situation where it seems like the karmic situation has been making fun of you, just laughing at you about the whole thing. And you really been trying to play, so you're playing the fool. Well, you might be, but you really been you really have been trying to be a good sport. Thank you about things. You know, I'm trying to keep my composure while I'm walking through this stuff. But, you know, I got both of these things happening on both sides. And like I said, you just really high honor. You're just trying to take the high road on these things. You're really trying to ascend to me. You've been firing all cylinders. And then you've been here. You got the courthouse card here, which you're really trying to find justice. To me, it seems like you've been trying to go by the rules, do what you're supposed to be doing, so you don't create any more karmic situations as well. But then at this time, you're like, I really want to go to the appeals court, because it's like, I don't know what kind of sentence life or universe has given me, but it's time to say, just like I'm in the movie, I'm style, give us free. It's time for us to give us some freedom. And so we're like, I think it's time for us to go to court, and for me to really kind of on my end try to tell, you know, why, give reasons why I need to be released out of this waiting room and waiting for union thing. So that's the current thing that's going on with that. That's what I'm picking up. Meantime, let's kind of get some overall clear with this. Can you tell me also about what is some energies, or where should we be moving towards, though? Can you tell me where is it that we should be moving? The divine feminine, as far as what she's waiting her next level. This is a story. This is a lot of cards. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, all that child card come up. I felt that. We got to really become innocent. So we got to become innocent. We got to come to the point in which we got this, we got this, we got this, and we got this. Okay, so I'm just going off the top of the card, just do intuitively. Got to become childlike. Got to learn how to play with life. Play with life. Life will play back with you. You got the number 13, which is death to me, which means we got to put the end to some things too, as well as, and we got to return back to innocence while that's what we kind of moving, the energies we're moving towards to while we're waiting in this waiting room for union. We got to get very slide like a fox. We got to get wise. We got to get clever. We got to really kind of be seeing. I'm seeing it back there is the hen. So, you know, the always that the fox is always going in the hen house to steal or to get the chickens or get the eggs and stuff. And so you got to find a way to kind of really cleverly get to where you want to actually go as far as your goals. Okay. The rooster crows. Like, to me, almost like it's almost time. So you're trying to do this before the rooster crows too. Or the cock crows. Is that why it goes? You got to kind of work with that. This is what I'm picturing. I see some leaves here. Also, so this looks like, to me, I'm seeing some fog here. Some fall and into winter. Okay, fall into winter. Those are the two seasons that's going to really be important, because you got a polar bear here. So really into fall, you're going to probably, when you're kind of entering into that, you're going to find yourself becoming much wiser, much cleverer about some things, and really setting your sights on your objective about what things you want to obtain, what things you want to get. It's almost to the point that you almost by saying by any means necessary, because this is kind of like they say, slide like a fox. You're doing it so that like they never see you sweat. You're going to do it in a manner that they're never going to see it coming, you know. That's what you're doing, Divine Feminine. Then you got the polar bear here, polar bear experience that I see here. I'm going to read up on that. I can see where we're going, because we're going setting forth at the end. We're going to set forth for a journey on a ship that's going to take us to higher heights. So we're going to ascend, and we're going to set forth course for our actual twin flame or divine unisoul journey. But what I want to get is some more information on this polar bear, though. He's a new kid on the block. Okay, the bear. And I am power and strength, health and protection. Your finance is my field. Your food is my concern. My bad side comes out when you see negative cards around. Ain't no negative around here. I am power and strength, health. The polar bear is a fitting symbol of the indomitable dignity signified by this card. Whether it be read as an authority figure, that goes back to that leadership again card that was there, a protected mother, or purely as strength. The polar bear is the most powerful of the species. Furthermore, its color is symbolic and pure spirit it embodies. The bear can relate to a person who is in a position of power in the business world. The bear can also be matriarchal. In China, the polar bear is known to represent Russia. The bear may also be a symbol of officialdom and brute force. This card could be telling us to push something through sheer force, and I will believe that, because I told you I picked up from the Fox card, by any means necessary. So you might have to push, you know, even from fall going all the way into winter, because I'm thinking about polar bear and that cold air. You still gonna have to push forth, period. You got to push forth, and it's got to be brutal, because you know, even with the polar bear, when he's playing with you, and you look say, oh my God, he done knocked you out into next week. You know, you got to really do that. When you do that, I'm not going to read anymore, because I intuitively is speaking to me. I got Archangel Michael and the rest of them talking to me. He's saying that, you know, once you do that brute force, you get smart with it. You got your sights set on where you actually want to go. You got the polar bear getting that brute force to say, come on, push, let's go forth. The next step is that it's going to put you forth on your road to your journey. To where you need to go, and it's going to put you on highest heights. You're going to be ascending, because this is floating up there. So you're on a voyage, an actual voyage, because they don't set the sails open unless they actually got a good wind putting them in the good direction that they actually need to go. They actually know forth where they're going, you know, and we're not just bouncing around. This is really to be going in a direction. Everybody is pretty much going and looking the same way, except with the fox. So the fox, to be symbolized, is almost like an African symbolism, which is Sankofa, which is to reach back and to pull forth into the future or into the present. Same thing. You got to go back and look at that child, back to your childhood thing, and go back there and get that and pull some of those things to help you to become pure again, become innocent, forgive, let go, get some knowledge, because I see it in the book. Think of fairy tales, use your imagery. You know, they have the, also with the, you know, you have the imaginary friend. So to me, that would be like talking to the divine masculine, or talking to your higher self, talking to other powers. You know, really start talking to the unknowns, or speaking things in existence. You know, you had your playtime where you had imaginary, where you pretend you are actually at the place. Like, I'm in a castle. You know, you taking a roll of toilet, a roll of paper towels, and say, oh, this is a sword. You know how you was at that point where you could take just the simplest things, and okay, thank you, the simplest things, and you could turn it into anything. You got to help that to start you with your manifestation power. So that's the energy that you're moving into, divine feminine, while you're while you're in this waiting room. Okay, what things need to be changed? Clear. What things need to be changed? I said a little bit. I told you this wasn't going to be that. according to divine, Archangel Michael. Healthcare change. Okay, some of us, we got to really find a way to kind of really work on self. You know, what are we eating right? Are we, you know, exercising? Really taking time out to really practice self-care. Those things. We got to really kind of think about that. You know, some of us not drinking enough water. We're not taking time out to really care for ourselves. And so that's really something that we've got to make some life changes as well. Seeking and finding. I usually don't. Okay, seeking and finding. I have that. Oh, where's the book for you? I know you got a book. You don't? Seeking and finding. No, that's not you. Oh, that's that one. I'm looking the wrong way. Seeking and finding. Here we go. Okay. I want to see that. Like a butterfly flying from flower to flower, you are searching for what's next. This card reassures you that you'll find what you're looking for. Hold the vision of success. That goes back to being that child card again. This one right here. Hold the vision of success and experience excitement of the process and feel fulfillment as if everything has already been accomplished. That goes back to this again. You got to feel like you're a child. Go do that imaginary play things of developing so you can start manifesting some stuff. Keep calling upon the guidance of God. One of them said about the guidance. That's one. What's that card there? I thought I seen that one. Yeah, I know that one's strength. Yeah, when I talk about the school, that's this coming back with that one. And the angels to lead you in the best. I go back to this best direction. You look within yourself. This goes back to that. Look within yourself to find great love and beauty. Don't draw fear onto your path by worrying about what will come. Put only love into any thoughts and feelings you have about your future. Trust that everything that is rightly yours already belongs to you spiritually. Anything you are seeking is seeking you. Also, have faith and open your arms to receive. Finding a lost object, reunion with a lost love. Discovering your divine life purpose, beating your soulmate, meditation. Okay, those are the things. So this is it. Seeking and finding, knowing that the answer is there. Not seeking and finding and say, oh, you just looking and looking. What's the song? I've been searching for so long. Nobody like you. Nowhere to be found. Makes me wonder what I do if I never found someone like you. Yeah, that's that song. I've been searching for so long. So he didn't say you're going to keep on, but he actually did find that person. Okay, so that's what that. So what do we have to surrender while we in this waiting room? Thank you. What do we have to surrender? Clear. All right. Is this going to be, well, yes. What do we have to surrender? You went up, you went down. Surrender to joy. Yeah, I would say that to do that in the meantime. While you're waiting in the waiting room on union, a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. Okay, and I can understand why the Archangel Michael said that, because I'm feeling sometimes, and I seen that in somebody else's video, they were saying that the Divine Feminine does not really take time to just enjoy where she actually is. She's always looking for, when the Divine Masculine is coming, when he's coming. So again, the message to you is to surrender to the joy, to be happy with where you actually are. Okay. Some of these cards I don't think I need, because that would clarify that. Okay. While she's in the waiting room, what's that doing on here? Okay. What divine energy should she be? Clear. Working with Archangel Michael while she's waiting in the waiting room. Selfhood. Okay, that's like, duh. Yeah, you're right. Divine Master. I mean, Divine Master. Oh, he's saying that too. Ooh. Okay, thank you, Archangel Michael. Yes, you should be working on self. He's like, you should be concentrating on yourself. Don't be worrying about what I'm doing. Okay, so how does that look? Clear. Oh, that's been somebody else, but that's it. How does that look? Okay, so to me it says stop with the round and round, start ending the cycle. Okay. They both saying, you know, clean up some things, very much so. You got to stop that, because if I say stop rounding and around, so that is ending the cycle. So this is emphasized, although it's reverse. You got to really do that. They emphasize you got to start cleaning up some stuff. You know, really get it all up in those nooks and crannies. Go up to a higher level. Really start thinking about what some things that you really need to get rid of, you know. Because sometimes I always used to tell my kids, you can't see a problem while you're in it. You can see it when you kind of go away. Get rid of those things. You can also do everything I talk to my uncle about. I tell him, this is it. That actually go physically clean out some stuff. You know, go in your closet and look at some things and say, ooh, I ain't messed with this in 3 months, or you really haven't been with that year. Start actually cleaning up that stuff. Just get rid of it. You know, that's the way the universe letting them know. You know, even if you're shifting and organizing some things, let me just kind of move these books around. That's letting the universe know in a tangible, physical way. I'm moving things. I'm shifting things in my life. I'm getting rid of some things. You know, you can do that. Also, they're saying in order to get the selfhood thing, you're going to have to stop thinking yourself as small. This is like you're much greater than what you are, the situation that you're in. You keep playing yourself small. Even your inner child is like, come on out. You know, the inner child has been talking to you and saying, you know, this is not what I imagine myself to be as an adult. You know, I picture X, Y, and Z, the little child here who was back there. Think about that child that was playing. Would they really like the person they become? You know, it's less freedom, more stricter, more scared in doing some things. You know, back then when you was a child, you know, you just didn't have any filter, no limitations. You know, everything you want to try, do, and see. You know, and so you kind of got to get back to that. And then you got the yin. So this is emphasis. This is in reverse, which is really saying you really need to get into your divine feminine power, which again is going to lead you into this selfhood. Okay, so you got to deal with that. Can you tell me, this is a question that wants me to ask, is there going to be something that's going to be a catalyst? Is there an event or moment that's going to really be a catalyst for the divine feminine that's saying, okay, you know what, this is time, a catalyst moment. So they say it's going to be catalyst moments here, which would be, okay, strength is back out again. So again, 7 of air. Plans that need revisions. More going on than meets the eye. You know what? I'm going to get some clarifiers, and I'm going to ask for you to clarify this. Hold on 1 second. How does this look? Whoa, I was looking at you and all this stuff fell out. So we got a story. Clarify, please. Your temptation card be coming out, and you don't belong in that. And why are you on this one? Okay, so I'll change your Raphael. Say it stay. It belongs. Say it stays. Okay. Let's see what that is. All right. Interesting. Well, nope. Told me real clear. Said, no, that stay. That was no mistake, lady. Okay. All right. So, plans that needs revision. Okay, so now more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. So right now, though, you sitting in the waiting area and you're like, okay, it's time for me while I'm waiting for you. Get on out here. I believe I'm whole. I'm ready. I'm going to go to the reception to pay my bill for my day, whatever, and then I'm ready to check on out of here. Or you wait for them to call your number next. And you kind of premature, you know, when you're waiting at the doctor's office. Like, excuse me, I put my name on the list. Am I next to be for you to come and see me? You know, for me to go in, you know, for union. And, you know, they might be, you say that's the angels there. And it's like, no, go, no, we haven't called your name. It's not time yet. He's not, the divine masculine is back there. He's not ready for you yet. And you're like, oh, okay. So you mean I got to go sit back down? And like, yes, ma'am. Yes, divine feminine. You got to go sit back down. Oh, Jesus. You know, they're like, well, my ain't time. While you waiting there, partake on some schools, partake on some strength, partake on finding your path, you know. Just work on those things while you waiting for him to get ready. And you like, okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to go sit back down. And they're like, okay, it won't be long. It won't be long. And we like, is that in angel time or is that in human time? Because, you know, my time and your time is kind of a little different. You know, I just want to get some clarification on that. We don't operate on the same time now. So, okay. So, we'll see on that. So, 7 in air. Okay. So, okay. Did not make it. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. Maybe tell me something. We did not make it that way. Well, okay, all right. Well, you have to tell me about that. What you mean we did not make it that way? Divine masculine, you talking to me? Okay, so 7 in air. I'm saying in some ways we got something to do with it, and that's why it ended up that way. Okay, anyway. So poor timing. So why again? Okay, that goes back to this. The thinking man is in reverse. Analytically, we got a lot of reversals. Do you want me to read the reversals as is though? This is what I need clarity on. So do you want me to read it as is? Let me see. Let me think on this for a second. Hold on one second. Okay, so he's reading the verses. Okay, I got it. I see the storyline. Thank you. Okay, so you need to revise your plan because right now the way you thinking analytically in your divine masculine self has not been with clarity because I see a crystal here that's being shown here. And you have not, again, divine feminine. I know you might not like this, but again, you have not shown appreciation for where you are. You still looking fast forward. You're not the suspected spam. You are not. Let's go and keep on. Back here. Okay, you have not learned how to appreciate where you are. Okay, in this whole thing, you've got to thank for the smallest, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're still looking forward into the future about some things that you know, like how it should be or how it could have been, looking in the past instead of looking in the present and saying, thank you for where I am now. That's the issue. I have the same thing. I'm working with myself daily, especially with the shadow stuff, to just be thankful for that. You know, that's why I say I'm getting the point. Like I say, I'm thankful for my friends. You know, I'm thankful for where I am. So if I was you, I would get to the point that I would just start like a gratitude journal. I used to do that. I didn't. And just real something simple. Just say, you know, I'm going to pick 3 things out of the day that I want to be grateful for, you know, even if it say I can't find nothing, say, well, I'm grateful that I'm breathing, I'm grateful for the ability to walk, I'm grateful for the ability to talk, you know, this, that, and then start from that point on, and then you'll find it escalated, like, you know, I'm seeing little small things, like today, I'm thankful that I just grabbed a little time to go by the lake and to see the beach and let to see the calming waters that was going on. I don't know what's happening with Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan water used to be ugly looking. Now it's got like a real pretty like turquoise and blue thing. So I was able to appreciate, thank you for the colors that I could see the vibrancy in the Lake Michigan as I was sitting there. It took me a little point to say, okay, that's something the Divine Master and I, we shared, something he kind of shared with me about some things, how he calm and center and gets himself back in line with like sitting and doing things. And that's something I adopted, and I teased him that like I done stole it, you know, it's mine, but I did coin the phrase after his name. And so that's what I do. I like to go do that. So you're not appreciating where you are. You're not learning how to really be the woman holding the heart as well. To me, this is kind of really becoming vulnerable. This card here as well. really appreciation. I'm seeing his card too when I'm looking at that. Is really being really the center of attention, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, because it's got a lot of green going on there. She looks like she's standing in her power. She's very regal, very elegant about doing that. She's okay about her sensuality of whom she is and who she has become over time. So again, with that, you gotta learn how to hold the heart and how to be vulnerable and how to be playful for it. And sometimes it's okay for you to be kind of like a little vixen about it. So some of you all got a little problems with your sexuality and who you are, own it. If you like that, if you like sex, if you love sex, or whatever it is about that, it's okay. Own it. Be it. Don't get crazy with it, but don't be a prude about it either, because that is a part of you, expressing yourself as well. And then you have angel of balance. So at the end of it, you need to revise your plan, because right now you need to become an angel of balance. Okay, really being able to look at things that happened in the past. They have shed the light on where you are now, so you can be able to spread your wings, spread my wings, and fly away to a place that is heavenmore. Okay, so you got to do that. Next thing that's going to be some catalyst of the events is the 9 of air. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. I was saying I do see the brown here, which would be a karmic thing. Back there, a lot of divine feminines, you all having problems sleeping because you're thinking about what's happening with the divine masculine with this karmic feminine, because that's right there, 9 of air, right there. You just keep on expecting the worst. And some of you all is dealing with this envy thing that you're dealing with too, divine feminine, while you're sitting in the waiting room waiting on union, dealing with some karmic situations. That's the thing, this envy thing. Gotta learn to kind of let it go, because right now where it is making it very dark where you are. Outside of that kind of thinking where you cloaking yourself and closing yourself into that, outside is light. And if you get out of that old mindset, that dusty, crusty old castle, and really go walk on the grounds and see, I see another house there in the background, you really would be able to shed some things, and that's going to help you find a new pathway, a new you. Also, some catalysts and some things that are going to help you, and some events is strength. Archangel Ariel, great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. You've got to get to the point that you've got to forgive. You work with Archangel Ariel, because this is going to, once you do that, that's going to help you to become the magician in the mirror. You're going to look at some things. You're going to be able to reflect some things. You're going to look at some things within yourself that you've got to kind of really change about yourself, and really finding out within you, you've got the power within you to really be able to manifest and to make things occur and appear in your world. But you've got to find strength, okay? And you got to get rid of those things. That's why I say about this mirror here, is because you got to really looking at to find some things. You got some harsh judgments about some things, and you got to look within yourself to say, you know what, I got to forgive some things and have some compassion. Some of that stuff is geared, and I can say that, I can throw myself there too, about the divine masculine and them being in their karmic situations. You got to be able to release that and let that go. You have the sun, okay? The sun, Archangel Uriel, happy outcome, billion new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. So, that could be, so the sun represents also the divine masculine. He's the sun, we're the moon. So that, again, that could be a happy outcome when it comes to the divine masculine. Seeing him being ascending in higher heights, new levels with that. But you gotta watch it with this temptation again, because this card came out by an accident. But again, I'm feeling like a lot of you all are going to be tempted to kind of go, she's got this mask, go back to hiding again, not being your true self, trying to be really worldly into physical things, not really thinking about your path of really true abundance. with that. So you're going to be tempted. You see the sun there, but you're going to be tempted. And it's going to make you become back into you being a thinking woman. But hopefully when this comes there, you have a new mindset, a new way of attack or strategizing and things. And it's going to be a woman that I see you got some more knowledge. And you're going to learn how to go more so within the heart to find a solution as to what you actually do. I was watching Dr. Field today, and he was talking about talking to one of the singers from Color Me Bad. They say, I wanna sex you up all night when it feels good all around you. I wanna sex you up. You don't stop. You don't stop. Okay, so anyway, so that part there, he was talking about you having your own personal truth. What personal truth are you telling yourself? He said, because whatever is your personal truth, it helps to manifest everything else outside of you and to manifest into your physical world. So, you know, if you're saying, oh, I'm not good enough, well, guess what? You're going to find things that the universe is going to find a place in yourself. Oh, you're not good enough? There you go. There you go. There you go. And you're like, well, hold up, wait. I don't want all that. Why you don't? Because that's what you was thinking. You was saying, you know, you're not good enough. So it's gonna keep on manifesting those things to come into your world. You know, until you're like, nah, I don't want that. Okay, again, check with your heart with the truth. Go back to again what Archangel Michael with that sword of truth. Again, slice and dice those things. Say, I'm standing with the sword of truth to make sure that everything that comes to me that I'm thinking coming from me, again, ask Archangel Michael to get rid of those thoughts, those things in your heart that are blockading you from really coming into true union, or for you to leave that waiting room so you can get into union. Okay. I think I ran all the grammar cards. I did that one. Let's see about, yes, it's going to be a long one. Clear. Let's see what's going on with the divine. What do you want to say as far as love? What should she be, Archangel Michael? What should she be concentrating on while she's in union? I mean, waiting on union. Well, let's put it on that one. Oh, the good cards. Archangel Michael said you should be thinking about it's safe for you to love, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. This is what you should be working with. And you should be working with the idea sitting there with the thoughts saying very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So you've got to, again, go back to that child picturing it in. And I've said to me, if you just keep on saying, you know, being gratitude for the moment, it's going to happen very soon. Thank you. It's going to happen very soon. That's what you're concentrating. So you need to build within yourself while you're waiting in that waiting room is to really feel that it is safe. It is safe to love the divine masculine. No matter what has happened in the past, whatever I think is going to happen in the future, I'm living in the now. Like Eckhart Tolle says, living in the now. Forget about the past. Forget about the future. It's all about the now. Because you can't control it. You think about the prayer of serenity. You can't control, you can't change what happened in the past. You can't control what's about to happen in the future. You can only control what things is happening in the now. Okay? So that's that. That's self-explanatory. We don't need to find out about that. I got some new angel cards here. Clear. Ask the angels. Okay, so while we in union, thank you. You gave me 2 things. Ooh, 3 things. What is the things, angels? Just all the angel teams. Last words. Then we're going to ask the higher self. And then that, and we're going to check out. And that's it. What is it that we need to be angels? Last words, like closing remarks. What is the things that we need to be working on? So we need to empower our habits. So this is with Melanie Beckler, angels, because I told you I was going to work more with these angels, because I'm an angel work. I am an angel. I am. I've been told about that sending that, you know, from angels, went to the energy lady. She's saying that, you know, I was like, whatever, because, you know, some of us is from Lemuria, some of us is from other thing, you know, other places. In the galaxy, in the world, some of it. So I was teasing. I said, well, what am I? You looked at her. She was this lady in the workshop, and she did. When I looked at her, she's like, yeah, you from Hawaii, like the people of Hawaii, from underwater, from Atlantis, or you from whatever. And she's like, that's where I descended from. So I said, oh, no wonder I feel so much at home with angels. So that's that. So that's why I'm working more with angel work. I've been guided to do that, to be more of what I am, that I feel more comfortable in what I'm drawn to. So you need to empower your habits. Archangel Uriel, contact that angel to work with you, so you could be able to transform and for you transcend and go into higher heights. The angels also said, nurture yourself with love and compassion. You need to work with that as well. These is the last words that they're telling you, the closing remarks. And enter to the void, Archangel Uriel. The void is just into nothingness. The not creating anything, just become one with space and time and nothingness. Okay, I want to make sure into the void. Let's see how this is in Enter into the void. Relax your mind, breathe, and open your heart to enter into the still, calm, and silent place of infinite possibilities within. It is from within that you are able to recognize your oneness with all. Quiet your mind, open your heart, and drop in. The void, this place of still, silent calm within you, is accessible in every moment. The void is simply a breath away and contains infinite possibilities. As you connect with the void, you are able to connect with your full spiritual light and power. As you do this, your vibration increases. As your vibration increases, the infinite blessings of divine possibility becomes available to you. The calm space of the void found within you offers healing, offers clarity, and offers an uplifted state of being. As you increase your vibration through positive emotions, through love, and through connecting with the stillness of the void within, new possibilities and new pathways for positive experiences in your life are divinely inspired. Crystal to help you find the calm stillness within would be the amethyst. So work with that. You got several things. You got the amethyst to work with, and I was pretty much drawn with that one. Let me see, since they're talking about stones, empower. So work with the amethyst, work with the black obsidian for empower your habits. Get rid of those things. You need that for that. And nurture yourself. Let's see what that would be. Rose quartz. Okay, that makes sense. And don't forget about the topaz, the other one, turnamite. It was another one, sapphire. They were saying work with the blue ones to help you with that. Any blue crystals. Work with that also when you talk about work with Archangel Michael. Okay, that was good. That's a good thing. Let's ask the higher self. Clear. What do you want the higher self, what your divine feminine to do while she's waiting in the waiting room? Right side up. Okay. I don't know why I hear that car commercial saying. Okay, right side up. Number one, it is now safe to unbuckle your seatbelt. Doesn't matter how it looks, you're on the right path. Unseen forces are working behind the scene, smoothing out the bumps, writing out all injustices. Any apparent blip is nothing but a reminder to pay attention, to say thank you. Then I tell you to have gratitude too, just right where you are. The scales are tipping in your favor. Everything is coming back into balance. It's time to trust that what goes down must come up. Okay, so that's what while you're in the waiting room, you should be doing that. And collectively from the universe, What do you have to say to the divine feminine that's waiting in the waiting room for union? Clear. Dealing with some karmic situations. What do you want her to know? Universe. Got a lot. Okay. The universe wants you to know, spend some quality time together. It is imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. We had that earlier. Remember I told you about the family? So make sure you spend time with your soul family. Make sure you're spending time with yourself. Make sure you're spending time with your divine masculine. Okay? So those are the things that you're working with. That's what the universe said for you to do. Look at your relationship patterns. Or look at your pattern in relationship. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Didn't I say that before when we was talking about the moose and the cleaning up? I said get higher up, get away from the situation, because if you're in the situation, you can't really see what the problem is. So really get yourself, kind of step away from it and say, okay, now let me look at this situation about what's going on with me as if I am not the person who is in the driver's seat, but the person who's the passenger. Because, you know, sometimes when you drive the passenger, like, oh my God, they drive so damn fast. But you as the driver, you can't tell. Okay, and then it says, choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. And so whatever it is that you decide, divine feminine, even if you want to remain staying in the waiting room, or you might say, you know what, I've been here long enough, I think I got to get up and leave. Make sure that you're doing this from a place of your heart and not of a place of ego, okay? That is the thing that you got to kind of remind yourself of, that when you do these choices to say, okay, deuces to the journey, which I told you at the beginning, you can't do that because you are the journey. It doesn't matter. It's the journey. You are the journey. It's like who you're going to take along to walk along the path with you on this journey, a twin flame journey, with divine masculine, or you picking the soulmate, or whoever you say, nah, let me just kind of walk it along by myself. You know, I don't need no extra people because I don't know where I'm going. So I don't need nobody going along the path with me. And we both lost out here. So let me kind of work on myself. So again, whatever you're doing, make sure that you're choosing love, okay? And then it says, again, do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Again, look outside yourself for the answers. Look outside yourself for help. Look outside yourself for encouragement. Look outside yourself for to help you to level up and for you to ascend. You know, work with others. That's the same thing like I have been. That's why I kind of, a lot of times I'm on here with this color orange, because we got to work with that, how we connect and we have intimacy with others. That, you know, and that's funny, it says that do something for someone else, because even with my dad, when he was in the hospital, I was telling him, he was telling me about his things and what he wanted to do. I was asking, I said, well, what's your wishes? You know, what do you want to do? And he was saying a lot of things that was just kind of like simple, like, you know, I don't want to have no big thing about it, you know, just do what you got to do, and then that's it. And I was telling him, you know what, listen here, this journey called life isn't just about you. You got to think about, when you're doing your decisions, how does it affect others? How can you also bring, in his situation, how can you bring peace to others? You know, how can you help them get closure about what's going on as far as you and your journey, and how you, if you transitioning out or whatever kind of way that you're doing, you know, you always want to leave, you know, a gift behind. You don't want to leave more karmic and destruction by, you know, doing what you're doing. And so, you know, that's the same thing. I think about that. You got to remember that this journey here is not just about you. It's about you and seeing how you can be a gift to others. The coin with Jupiter 1111. She said the same thing about that. You know, your gifts. What is it? Something you can bring to the table that's helping others? Because a lot of times when you are here, you were born for something. Your purpose, like a divine feminine, and by you doing certain things, you act as a catalyst for others, and you help to trailblaze some of those things. That because if you do X, Y, and Z, you can help others, like a ripple effect, that you help others by you actually set forth course on your mission and on your purpose as well. And so, you know, it's just like, I know it was some movie, you know, it was a movie that was out, and like the person in some kind of ways was like, I wish I wasn't born. And by them doing that, they showed how, you know, if they wasn't born, how this ripple affected everybody else. And they're like, well, I thought they was going to be all right. And like, nah, you wasn't born. So, you know, You know, so they're like, they didn't grow up to be this. They're like, nah, because they need you to do X, Y, and D. They need you to show them the way, you know, use their voice of reason, and you wasn't around, so, you know, hey, that's why they growed up to be a criminal and they are up in jail. You know, all of us, we are so interconnected. We are so interdisciplinary, and we're so interdependent upon each other. That's why they say we are one. We're like a web, like a spider web. We all spin out, and each one of them is one of those little webs, and spokes come out of it. The whole little web that the spider has created collapse. We're all so interconnected with each other. That's why I said what you do, you help to raise the vibration for the whole collective, for the whole world, for everything. Excuse me. And so, divine feminine, you have to remember that you do have purpose. You do serve. And so, while you sitting there in the waiting room, take that time to be thankful and grateful that you know, okay, thank you. This gives me some more time to work on some things so that when I do join up with the divine masculine, that, hey, it's going to be on and popping. I told you before, you cannot go there half-baked into this thing called union, because if you do that, you not coming there right. Any little thing that the divine masculine does is going to set you off, and both of you all are going to trigger each other, and then you're back to square one. You got to get really grounded and strongly rooted into what you want as far as in a relationship, and so that when things happen and divine masculine does something and you looking at him and he looking at you and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm still here, that didn't scare me, you know, or we're gonna sit here and we're gonna work it out, or we're gonna talk it out, we're gonna get to the root of things. You know, before then, when I wasn't grounded and really into my divine self, that stuff would have scared me. But now I'm sitting there saying, okay, now, you know, okay, now you almost like a person said, nah, you finished? Okay, so now can we continue on to what we're doing? Because, you know, I understand that. I understand where you came from, you know, what that is, but now let's continue on with what we set forth and what we came here to do, you know, and then that helped them, because remember, again, divine feminines, you take the lead in far as in the relationship. And then also with the divine masculine, once he gets it, he's going to take off. And you got to make sure that you are going to be able to keep up with him. Because just like Trinity and Neo, you know, in the Matrix, you know, once he took off, you know, she was just kind of just like, she wasn't in the background. She was doing her thing too. But the focus was on Neo. And Neo was doing all of the stuff, you know. And so it's up to us as we being divine feminines to be in that Trinity mode, that we are there fighting our own battles, making the changes in the world, but we're also there to support the divine masculine. And we can't be there if we still back in that old consciousness, like we know, I wonder what he doing, why he taking so long, he out there saving the world, and you think, oh, he with the calm again, oh, he found him a new person now. You know, nah, if you in that kind of mindset, then you're not ready. You need to stay up into the daggone waiting room until you come into that point that you can trust them. Know that ain't really what it is. Whatever he's doing, I trust him. Whatever he's going, whatever he's doing, and I don't need to go back to that old consciousness, a way of thinking. And I thank God, and I'm on my own mission and purpose. So, you know, if I'm on that and he on that too, and he's been changed, and he's really into his Neo, standing in his Neo, then that should be really the furthest from both of our minds about, oh, okay, what's she doing? He same thing, he thinking too. She out there saying the world, you know, she doing this, she out there with Orpheus. I want her and Orpheus is kicking it. They doing something. Ain't nobody got no time for that. You know, she been on, talk about she on the Nebuchadnezzar. She been on daggone Nebuchadnezzar for a while there. I wonder what's going on. You know, so that that thing there, you got to get to the point that you kind of release it and let it go. And those kind of thoughts that don't even enter, they don't even think about popping up in your mind, because you're so strongly rooted and grounded into this thing of your own mission and purpose. Like, I ain't even got time for that foolery. Not at all. Because I'm on my thing, he on his purpose. And all we thinking about, our main objective is supporting each other. That's it. Some of us, ask yourself, like they said, get in the high ground. Ask yourself, are you truly ready? Are you truly at that mindset that, you know, can't nothing come? Because, you know, the universe is going to come along and it's going to test you and say, oh, yeah. Oh, she said she ready. And looking at her, she said she ready. You think she ready? Let's test this out. They find it off. Bam, 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 bam. They doing all that. Okay, find it off at you. And you're like, oh, where's that? Wait, hold on. I thought I was ready. I ain't ready. No, that's what we know. That's why you need to take a step right on back up into the daggone waiting room, because we knew you wasn't ready. You thought you could. We can see much further down the line than you can. You thinking about now and you're getting impatient. Get to the point that like an oven, when they open up, the universe open, they say she's beautiful. She's fully risen. She's rising like a cake. Risen, we shake it. She's not shaking. She's solid. That's how you want the cake to be. And they can take it out and let you cool, and then you're ready to get the frosting of life, icing, and for you go ahead and cut the cake, which you cut the cake for you all to be into full union, and that's it. Whatever, if it's marriage, serious commitment, that's what we're aiming for. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, I forgot to say, I forget to plug go on my again to my Facebook page, which is underneath my old name, Twin Souls 11. Look that up on Facebook. Read that article why they say you cannot quit the journey because the journey is you. That's silly. I'm very informative about that. Like and share my page also with that. It's got some good things. I go on there periodically and I put some things on there as well. Go to my in my website as well, divineunisoul's11.com, or if you want to, you just want to talk, you can also email me at divineUnisouls11@gmail.com. Those are some things just to talk. And I know it's on this journey, it is very kind of hard for you to you feel kind of alone, you feel a little isolated, you don't have anybody to really talk to you that's really on the same path for you and understand the trials and tribulations, because they'd be silly, because all they want to say, they're going to come from the physical world and aspect of how to handle the situation. With us being a divine unisouls, it's a little different. It's some of the things, yes, you can handle and apply to it, and some of the things, it's got to be a little bit, make sure that it's coming from unconditional love, but you're not a doormat either. So those are the things that you got to keep in mind. At this point, I'm not plugging any of my readings at this time, because with things that's going on with my dad, I can't really tell you when I'm going to be able to do a reading. I was trying to express that to someone that wanted a reading, and you got to remember, especially when you ask for readings from these readers, that you got to wait until the spirit tells them to do it, allow them to say, oh, this is a good time. Sometimes that it can't be 24 hours. Sometimes it can't be 72 hours. I ain't like the other way. I forgot what her name was. Is her name not Awakened Twin? Lord have mercy. She's another one, and she's like, listen here, she's Indian. I cannot give you a reading. I cannot tell you when the reading is going to be ready. It might be ready in 24 hours. It might be ready in 72. It might be ready in 2 months. It might be ready in 3 months. I have to wait until the spirit tells me when. So, I'm like, oh. So, like, nah, so you have to be kind of patient. But so right now, like I said, I'm getting pulled in a lot of directions. I am, like I said, committed to my Fridays, trying to get that unless something happens. Please, if you don't see me on Fridays, just be, a little kind of, not forgiving, but, just be kind of open-minded to saying, okay, something's going on. She's not on here on Friday. We already know, like I told my kids, it's dad, something dealing with him. Just know already that my heart and my spirit's there. You're always welcome to look down at the bottom and pick one. I'm seeing people going back to, somebody was looking at a video and was writing me back from the end of the road, way back there. That first one it did with the, at the Boys the Men is the cover. That sucker getting so many, I'm over 1,000 and something. That one, I don't know if it's 5K or something on that one. So it's like, I'm like, oh my God, seriously? So, like I say, energy has no time. It has no expiration vibration day. Whichever one of these readings, if I'm not on here and you say, "Ooh, I need some divine sunshine fix on there," because I do with my readings, I do pray that it has to send some healing, give some kind of solutions to stuff, that when you watch me, that you uplifted, you don't leave here down and saying, "Oh, I can't." I do work with the angels and then make sure that that energy is being sent forth to you all. That's why I like to sing it and stuff, to kind of lift up the vibration as well. But again, like I said, if I'm not on here, please feel welcome to look down at bottom of my playlist and different things on there. If that doesn't hit, you're more than welcome to look at the other readers that I have, that I look at, that I put in the description there, that I believe there's trusted ones that that's pretty much on my style that I like, or on my vibration that I resonate with as well. So that. So just thank you again for those of you all that's been liking and sharing. I've got some new subscribers, and I thank you so very much for that lets me know that it's getting out there, the word is getting out there, and I'm reaching those that need to, with my angelic help, that needs help with them on this journey. So until next time, 124 that says I love you. That could come from so many different ways, from the divine masculine, from the angels, from the universe, from you. Say 124:44. So I thank you. And 124:47, I could just go on and on. So with that, I say stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, namago.